Hey, good day. Welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Okay, current blood sugar's at 7.4, fully calibrated, so means numbers are pretty close. 0.550 units. The pink line represents the amount of basal rate I'm getting. God, I can't speak early morning. The blue lines represent correction doses, so it was pretty steady, but not too bad. Almost a straight line last night. Kudos. Time in range? Well, it's not the 100, but it's a number we're working on. Current blood sugar is 8.7. Time in range is 87%. Above is 8. Below is 5. Both of these are not the greatest number. So we have to kind of work on these two today. I had some lows yesterday, and that is representative here. Average blood sugar is 7.1, so that number looks pretty good. So that's our celebrated win for the day. 7.1 blood sugar. Second wind is pretty much a straight line last night. The pump is doing what it's supposed to be doing. Kudos. I used to have a boss that would always say, kudos to you. Today, I want to talk to you about type 1 diabetes and the holidays. Stay tuned, we'll be right back. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. The holiday times seem to be when type 1 diabetes can get thrown out the window. People are out partying and they don't really care about their type 1 diabetes as much. I won't say we're all kind of out there. Excuse me, just said something on the lens. There we go. So, we want to make sure that you get through the holidays doing your best. And hopefully these videos will help you get through those trying times. First of all, stick to your routine. It's important that you try to do your routine before you go racing down and start your partying. Do your blood sugar. It takes less than 5 seconds to do a blood sugar. You could even take a look at your number here. Okay, I know I'm in a good spot. Let's continue on. Don't starve yourself. These two kind of go hand in hand. Get everything out of the way first. Get up. Have a protein bar by your bed. Have a cup of OJ or whatever by your bed. Eat before you get up and get going. This can get harder with younger kids in twofold. First of all, your young kids are not going to want to sit there waiting. Oh, well, we have to eat first. Think about it back Christmas morning. Did you really want to even sit there and wait? As a kid, I did not have to wait, and it used to always be presents were the first thing in the morning. It then, once I got diabetes, it was, well, Mike, you should eat first. And I was raring to go, the family was raring to go, but Mike had to eat first. It eventually turned into the whole family ate first. So they'd get up and they'd prepare a very simple breakfast. And then we eat in the living room. This kind of brings on to the next stipulation. Keep your continuous glucose meters, whether you're on the Dexcom or the Medtronic on your phone or your pump with you. If minus that, you want to ensure you have your glucose meter close by, and you need to test throughout the day. Again, 5 seconds. I know it's nice, you just want to go and see relatives. The next part is don't starve yourself throughout the day. Take a moment, have a lunch, whether it be a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, glass of milk. But it's important that you don't starve yourself for that big meal. One of two things. Either you're gonna fill up on food because you're hungry and you're gonna eat way too much, or my blood sugar's high, I'm gonna hunt and peck. Chances are you're gonna be hungry and you're gonna eat a whole bunch of food. And this is not the best at all. You want to ensure going into the holidays. Now, once you're in the holidays, this can be a little hard to maintain, but you should try to minimize the effects. You don't want to be overindulging in alcohol. I know I set a limit when I used to go to our company holiday parties. We would get 2 drinks. The company would buy us 2 drinks. After that, I wouldn't drink at all. Well, I'd have soda pop. I'd be the designated driver or whatever, but soda was always free. That worked for me. And of course, make sure you have, wherever you're going, bring your own if you have to, diet pop. Don't just assume someone's gonna have diet pop. Because there's nothing like sitting at Christmas dinner with water as your main. And people seem to think, oh well, he can't have soda, he can't have this. And they end up, oh well, here, water. For me, it's not the greatest thing. I don't know for the rest of you how you feel about it, but try to curve away from sugary stuff. Now, this is difficult. There's so much pastries and cookies and pies, and of course, they're all have sugar in them, carbohydrates. Now, if you're using a continuous glucose monitor, which we are here, it shouldn't be that much of a problem. Every Christmas, I seem to always order in Quality Street. And I will have one from here or there. You can look up online and find what the carb counts are, and I will add it to my regime. You may have a lot of numbers, but keep an eye on your numbers. If you're going low, ease up a bit on the insulin. If you're going high, attack. Get the insulin into you. What you want to do, and just like every other day, you'd like your blood sugars to remain constant. You can have your treats. Just know the carbs involved and adjust your insulin accordingly. I'm not a dietitian. I am not a doctor. Talk to your dietitian. Talk to your doctor about handling these things. Make sure you still carry quick-acting sugar. There was a Christmas I went out, and it was one of the first Christmases I had diabetes. I got up, we had to eat breakfast because my mother made sure of that. And then throughout the rest of the day, I starved. I was saving up for the big meal. I crashed. It's important that you have sweets. But have your normal sweets. How you normally treat for a low blood sugar is what you should be using. Don't all of a sudden start treating with eggnog or pies and cookies. Treat how you would normally treat a low. Get your blood sugar back up and continue on. You don't normally have eggnog around, and treating yourself with eggnog, you don't know how, it's a lot of fat in there. You don't know how that's going to represent later. It could just end up getting into a massive cycle. Use a smaller plate when eating. It makes your mind think you're eating more. I always try to use a salad plate with the nice plate settings. They usually have I would just ask for a salad plate to be placed on top, and I'd use that for my main meal. If you're a host, and I think I said this in my last year's vlog, don't try to be this is more for adults. Don't try to be the perfect diabetic if you don't have it. Meaning that you get this fabulous dessert for all your adult friends, and then the one person who doesn't have diabetes, here, have some candies, or have some sugar-free candies. People forget we have to live with this every day of our lives. And Christmas or any other seasonal holiday events, we have to deal with them every year. We know what we need to do. Young kids may be different, referred to parent. If you are a parent, I can remember I was with a stepmother we went down to the States for Christmas Day. And while there, we had I was playing pool and I started to feel a little wonky. At that time, I was fairly new to diabetes, and there was a candy. It was like a Purdy's chocolate, and I took one. And my stepmom, "What are you eating?" I said, "I'm eating a chocolate." "Well, it's Christmas." And one of my uncles or one of her brothers or sisters turned around and said, "Leave him be. For one chocolate, it's not going to be the end of the world. Remember, one candy isn't going to affect your blood sugar. Eating a whole mass of things over the holidays is going to be problematic. Keeping your blood sugar within range would be ideal. If you go a little bit higher, correct your insulin and bring it down. It would be a good idea if you practice. No, thank you. But we're all human. Something is delicious. We get in our minds, we want it. If you take it, make sure you know how much carbs could possibly be in it. You can ask people, "Oh, that's great. Sure, I'd love to come over to your place. What sort of desserts or what sort of is on the meal? Is it something you like?" And I was luckily, it was the turkey one year. They all decided, "Oh yes, excuse me, we're gonna have smoked turkey." It was the worst thing. I did not want to eat the smoked turkey. I don't know, but I eat other things. But if it was more carbohydrate things and you gave your insulin before, you could run into problem. When I go into the holidays, not if I go into the holidays, when I go into the holidays, especially the big day, it's okay to run a bit higher. And this phrase normally drives me bonkers. And that's what it's better to be higher than lower. Well, when you're out family and playing games with the kids, it's better to be a little bit higher. Next day, you can work on getting things back in line. The last point about the holidays I want to bring up is that you should be active. Don't be sitting around the whole day. Things we used to do was later on in the afternoon because we would have dinner late. We would not have Christmas dinner at 2 in the afternoon, which some people do, which there's nothing wrong with it. We would get up and go for a walk. I can remember this was really a weird Christmas. I was at home for Christmas. The next day, or was it later that day, I was flying off to the Bahamas. I know. Back in the good old days. So I really watched everything. And we got up, we went for a walk. I remember there was snow around, so we got in a snowball fight. It was a good Christmas, but it was active. Try not to just sit around gorging all day. If you have a meal early, if you have your big meal early, or some people have it as a lunch, have some nibblies or something, crackers and cheese, something later on to make sure you keep your blood sugar positive later on in life. Later on for that day. Also, I know you're probably not going to feel like it. You're going to be full, but also have a quick snack before you go to bed. All in all, you should have a good Christmas, keeping these simple things in mind. Enjoy yourself, have a great Christmas, and we'll see you back tomorrow. Bye now. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.